You probably thought Trey Smith was gone. Honestly, so did a lot of people. Just weeks ago, reports were flying that the Chiefs isn't just good. It has the potential to be one of the best in the NFL. Interactive moment. Who's the most important defensive leader on this team? Nick Bolton or Chris Jones? Drop your pick in the comments and let's see who Chiefs Kingdom rides with. But Veach didn't stop with Bolton. He had an even bigger move up his sleeve, one that freed up massive cap space and kept two superstars happy. Up next, we break down the Mahomes and Chris Jones restructures and what they mean for the Chiefs' future. If there's one thing Brett Veach understands better than most, GMs, it's how to keep a championship team together while still making room for the future. And this offseason, he pulled off one of his biggest moves yet, restructuring the contracts of Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones to free up nearly $50 million in cap space. That number alone is staggering. $50 million. That's the kind of money that lets a team stay aggressive in free agency, retain key players, and build for another Super Bowl run. But what really makes this move special isn't just the money. It's what it says about Mahomes and Jones. Let's start with Mahomes. When he signed that record-breaking 10-year deal, a lot of people thought it might eventually become a burden on the team. Instead, it's turned into one of the best contracts in sports history. Why? Because Mahomes gets it. He knows that a team can't win if it's paying a quarterback so much that there's no money left for talent around him. By restructuring, he's once again proving that winning comes first. And then, there's Chris Jones. Some people questioned whether extending him last year was the right move, but let's be honest. This defense isn't the same without him. Sure, the raw numbers might not have been as flashy last season, but if you watched the games, you know Jones was constantly drawing double teams, disrupting plays, and making life easier for everyone else on the defense. The fact that he was willing to restructure shows his commitment to Kansas City. With these two moves, the Chiefs didn't just save money. They kept their two most important players happy and locked in for the long haul. That's how dynasties stay on top. Interactive moment. If you could restructure one more player's contract to free up cap space, who would it be? Drop your pick in the comments. Now that the Chiefs have some breathing room financially, they've started making moves to fix a major problem on the roster, the left tackle position. And that's where things get really interesting. For years, the left tackle position has been a revolving door for the Chiefs. Orlando Brown Jr. came and went. Donovan Smith was a temporary fix. And now, Brett Veach has placed his bet on Jalen Moore, a name that might not have turned many heads, but could end up being one of the most underrated signings of the offseason. The Chiefs signed Moore to a 2-year, $30 million deal, a bold move considering he's never been a full-time starter. On the surface, it might seem risky to hand that kind of money to a guy without a long track record, but if you dig deeper, the logic becomes clear. Moore stepped in for Trent Williams in San Francisco last season and played 5 very solid games. In that limited time, he showed strong pass protection, good footwork, and a physical presence in the run game. He didn't give up sacks, didn't commit costly penalties, and held his own against elite pass rushers. His Pro Football Focus grades were impressive, and the Chiefs clearly believe that with a full-time role, he can develop into a long-term solution at one of the most important positions in football. And let's be real, if Moore even comes close to his potential, that $15 million per year is going to look like a steal. Elite left tackles don't come cheap, and getting a capable starter at that price would be a huge win for the Chiefs. But of course, there are questions. Can he hold up over a full season? Will he step up when it matters most? That's something we'll only find out once the season kicks off. Interactive moment. Are you confident in Jalen Moore as the Chiefs' new left tackle? Drop a yes or no in the comments. With protection for Patrick Mahomes being a top priority, the Chiefs have also focused on building a defense that can dominate. And that brings us to another key move, revamping the secondary with a big addition at cornerback. Defense wins championships, and Brett Veach knows it. That's why the Chiefs made a key addition to their secondary, signing cornerback Christian Fulton to a 2-year, $20 million deal. It's not a flashy move, but it could be one of the most important ones of the offseason. Fulton brings experience, versatility, and depth to a cornerback room that already features Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. The big question now is how the Chiefs will use McDuffie. Last season, he spent most of his time playing outside, but some believe he's even better in the slot, where his quickness and instincts can shine. By adding Fulton, the Chiefs now have the flexibility to move McDuffie around and create the best matchups possible. If Fulton locks down one outside corner spot, the Chiefs can use McDuffie wherever he's most dangerous. That could make the secondary even stronger and more unpredictable for opposing quarterbacks. And let's not forget about Jalen Watson, who was playing at a high level before his injury. If he returns to form, this group could quietly become one of the best in the league. Brett Veach didn't break the bank for a superstar cornerback. He built a deep, well-rounded unit that can compete at a high level. Now, it's up to the players to prove him right. Interactive moment. Which Chiefs CB will have the biggest impact next season? Will it be McDuffie, Fulton, or Watson? Drop your pick in the comments. With that, the Chiefs' offseason moves are shaping up to be game-changing. But have they done enough? Let's wrap things up.